Greetings, greetings, greetings. Good night over here. It's like 11:48 p.m. My name is Alex, and this is my first video. This channel is going to be here to go over some of the Cisco technologies. Particularly, I'm working on the 350-401 Encore CCNP and the 300-410 implementing Cisco Enterprise Advanced Routing and Services. I think my approach here is actually going to Rob Riker had recommended uh, going through each concentration in depth and then to take the Encore exam. So I think that's what I'm going to do. That's what this channel is for. I'll be using EveNG to go over each exam topic and to just show a lab example of each objective on the exam. I will be starting with the Dash 410, implementing Cisco Enterprise Advanced Routing and Services. But before I do that, I just want to give a little bit of background on myself. Um, Back in 2014, I was in college pursuing electrical engineering here in Colorado, and I was running out of money to go to school, and I didn't want to take out any more loans, so I was having a hard time working 40-hour weeks and going to school full time. So I decided to join the United States Air Force. I signed a 6-year contract, and I was put into the career field. It's a 3 Delta 1X2, which is cyber transport, and that's where my networking IT background began. Before that, I'd never heard of really a switch. The only thing I knew about routers was like your home Wi-Fi router sort of thing. So I never thought about it, how companies communicated, um, what their infrastructure looked like, that sort of thing. So I joined the Air Force, and I got thrown right into Cisco technologies right out of basic training, right after basic training. I spent about 6 months training uh, in a lab environment using packet tracer and physical equipment to program routers and switches. From there, I got stationed in England. I was in a network infrastructure shop where I was hands-on with routers and switches. Also worked on VoIP, Cisco Call Manager, uh, Cisco ACS for security, um, and I got really lucky at the time because when I first got to England, I had a bunch of coworkers who were a lot more experienced than I was, and were pursuing Cisco certifications, and they really recommended that I do the same. And so I started studying on my own, labbing, uh, following websites like INE, uh, YouTube, Keith Barker, uh, Jeremy Chara, pretty much any video I could get my hands on, I would watch, read the books. I had all the Cisco Press books. Um, so if you're starting off or you're bypassing CCNA, which I don't really recommend, but let's say you are, or you just want to get information, start learning technology, I'm gonna go from like the ground up. Um, but yeah, this is a good place to start. Um, so I got a lot of hands-on, did a lot of tech refreshes, configuring routers and switches, installing routers and switches, troubleshooting uh, users, user problems, port security, uh, just that sort of thing. So I got a lot of hands-on experience first. Got my CCNA, and I've been working on CCNP for a while now. Now that the new exam's out, I wanted to really focus on that route and the objectives concentrations and some of the goals of each the topics. Hit those one by one, do examples, and then along the way give some of my experiences in the past, some career advice uh, if you're not uh, in the career right now and you want to, just kind of give you a path or my recommendations from my experience. I've since gotten out of the Air Force, and I work for, I'm not going to say the company, but um, I am a computer systems architect, but my focus is network engineering and uh, cybersecurity. So I have some experience outside of the military that I can explain, and hopefully it helps along the way. So, diving into the video, um, so I'm going to follow the 410 Advanced Routing Services. So, exam topics. The first exam topic that I'm going to be covering is Layer 3 technologies, and that's just troubleshooting administrative distance for all routing protocols. So, using ENG, I've taken a little bit of notes here. So first off, what is administrative distance? It's the believability, trustworthiness of a route. The lower the administrative distance, the more believable the route. So each of these routers, if they have routes in their routing tables to other destinations, um, they will have the destination IP address, and it'll also have the administrative distance, which I've highlighted here. Um, so connected route, directly connected is going to be 0. A static route, something that you manually put in, it's going to have a 1, EIGRP, depending on the type. Could be a summary route 5, internal route, so um, within the autonomous system, be 90, external, outside of the autonomous system, 170, external BGP 20, OSPF 110, ISIS 115, RIP 120, ODR, which I'm not too familiar with, 160, so I'll probably want to learn up on that in a future video. Internal BGP 200, and anything that isn't believable is 250, 255. So the idea behind this is I will go into these routers, set the IP addresses, and then um, it'll show the directly connected routes. We'll build some static routes. We'll build some OSPF, and then we'll manipulate those values to prefer one over the other, because by default it's going to follow these metrics, and the lower the better. So directly connect is going to be preferred over like OSPF. So to fix that, um, we can adjust these numbers a little bit to influence how the route is being routed by which protocol. So we're going to get into that now. I'll probably make another video on ENG another time and how to set it up. And alternatives are like GNS3, which is really good, easier to set up. Packet tracer, obviously, it's not as useful, but I definitely recommend GNS3 Viral or ENG. So let's log into router 1 here. Let's see how laggy this is. It's not too bad. So enable. So I don't have any security set up on this right now for these. Might be a little bit laggy here. I'm doing all this on a pretty old MacBook. There we go. So first off, just to show you that nothing is going on these ports. So first, we're looking at router 1, interface G0/0. No IP address is shut down, so nothing's going on. So first thing we're going to do, configure terminal, conft, interface GI0/0. We're going to say IP address. We're just going to follow what I have on here. And then /24 is 255.255.0. No shut. We can go description to router 2. Exit. Do show run interface GI 0/0 just to confirm what we're looking at. So I'm not going to change like duplex speed, any of that stuff. Just leave it on auto. So description to router 2, IP address 1111, 255.255.255.0, so /24. This should be good now. Let's look at show int status. Actually, I don't know if this command works on routers. I think it just switches, but show IP and brief should show us that we have 1.1.1.1 up, so we're good to go. So I'm going to leave that be for now. And I'm going to change the host name of this. If I can type host name, we'll just go router 1. So I'll write this. Okay, so that's good. Now we're going to jump into router 2. Sorry about that again. Hopefully the quality gets better in my videos as I go along. Again, show run. We're just going to show that there's no configuration on port 00 and 01. And I could have shortcutted this. So I could have shortcutted this by saying show run pipe B interface like this. And it's going to start beginning with the interface, which this is the first interface, 00. As you can see, everything's shut down, no IP address. So let's go ahead and configure these ports. So interface GI 0/0, IP address 1.1.1.2, 255.255.255.0. Description to R1. It's always good to have a description just for best practices. And in the real world working environment, if you want to troubleshoot, it's one way to tell where you're going to. You can do like show CDP name or other things like that. Will tell you the interfaces as well. So no shut. So first things first is this is going to come up, and we should have a route now. So if I do show IP route, we can see we have 1.1.1.0 subnet, and it's directly connected using interface G00. So that's a good sign. So next we're going to configure 01. And I just want to say, like, I don't know everything about routing and switching. I'm still, like I said, CCNA, CCNP level. I'm doing these videos so that I can study for the CCNP, hold myself accountable, and hopefully get some of you guys to come along with me. And again, share some of my experiences along the way, give some career advice, where I'm at in life, and some of the technologies that are going on, just to get some people to talk to. So if you enjoy this, check out, subscribe, look for some additional videos. I'm going to try to do one video a day. It's kind of tough. I'm going to school right now for my master's degree in IT, and I work 40-hour weeks as well. So my goal is to do one a day, but we'll see how that goes. Alright, so back to interface G01. We're going to go with, IP address 2.2.2.2, 255.255.255.0. Description, and this is to router 3. No shut. Save the configuration here, and just to confirm real quick, we'll do show IP and brief, show IP interface brief. You can see that we got 1.2, 2.2, good to go, up. Okay, so we're good on that. Close that down. Jump to router 3. somewhere down here we got router 3, router 1, router 3. And I will say, doing virtual equipment, I also follow people like Network Chuck. Um, they had a discussion with Jeremy Chara, or he had a discussion with Jeremy Chara, I don't know, maybe a few weeks ago, a month ago, about virtualizing your equipment versus buying physical equipment. I'm all on board for the virtualized equipment to run this environment. It would cost me a lot more um, than, I mean, 3 routers isn't expensive, but you can get them pretty cheap, but be able to expand out, take notes, all that sort of thing. Uh, I don't know, I prefer this method better. So, alright, let's program this next one. I'll probably do a lot of side notes as I go along, so hopefully that doesn't bother everybody. So we'll go configure terminal, interface UI 0/1, IP address 2.2.2.3, 255.255.255.0, description 2 router 2, and then no shut. And then it should build a route to router 2. So we'll see a route to router 2. We won't see a route to router 1 because it doesn't know about router 1. It's not being advertised, anything like that. So we'll go show IP route. And we should just see the connected with 2.2.2.0 subnet via G01, which is correct. So that's good to see. Okay, so I'm gonna jump back to router 1. Let me save this. It's always good to save your well, not always good to save. You could make a mistake and then save it and then not be able to get back. But save your configuration just in case something happens where it crashes or whatnot. So let's go back to router 1, and what we're going to do is we're going to build a static route to router 3. So I'm going to say IP. To do this, you go to configure terminal. The command is IP routes, and then you're going to say the destination. So it's going to be 2.2.2. And so you get 2.3, and you can make it as subnet mask. I mean, you can go more specific if you just want that route, or if you want the whole subnet, you can go to 255.255.0. So it incorporates every single host within that subnet mask. So from .1 to .255, it's going to include that here. And then so you destination IP, destination subnet mask, and then your next hop. So we're going to do 1.1.1.2, which is the next hop, G00 on router 2. So I think you have to do .0 or .1 with this for it to properly. Sorry about that. Let's try this. Might be .0. Bear with me. It's a little bit sluggish here, but we're good there. .0. There we go. So yeah, so it's the subnet the IP address for that subnet, not the actual IP address that you're trying to get to. So I guess if I wanted to go to exactly 2.3, I'd have to put 255.255.255.255 to give that specific route. A little rusty, but we'll work through it. Okay, so exit. So show IP route. We should see a static route now. So we have a static route to 2.2.2.0 via 1.1.1.2. So another thing you can do is you can show IP route and then the IP address. And I want to put .3. So the specific IP, it identified that it's in that subnet mask. It's known because it's static, because we set it static. Distance is 1. Remember, static route has a 1 in this table up here, top left. Static route has a 1. And I think this is just saying that the next hop is 1.1.1.2, so via 1.1.1.2. So that's great, right? So if we ping 2.2, we probably should have done some ping tests beforehand, but if we ping 2.2.2.3, sometimes these take a while. So show IP int brief. Let's just make sure our interfaces are up. Up. Just go back to router 2. So this could cause a problem if you don't have. It's up. Okay. Oh, okay. So when you ping, you have to have a route back. Otherwise, it won't get back, right? So on router 3, we have to do a static route back to router 1. Otherwise, the return won't make it. So I think that's correct. Let me just make sure. So we'll go IP route 1.1.1.1. So just remember .0, right? 2.5.2.5.2.5.0. And the next hop for that will be 2.2.2.2. I don't know if I said too many twos, but 2.2.2.2. Exit. Let's write that. Go back to router 1 here. So we go back to router 1 and we try that ping again. Just hit the up arrow. Okay, 100%. So the reason why it wasn't getting back is because we didn't have that return route, static route. So IP route, show IP route. Have that static route. We know that's a value 1. It even shows here as well. Here's another way of showing. So this is your administrative distance here. So 1. Okay, so now that we see it's 1, let's go ahead and build OSPF between router 1 and router 3. And at that point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, once OSPF is up, it's not going to like OSPF. It's going to prefer the static route because it has a lower administrative distance. So at that point, I'm going to manipulate the administrative distance of the static route so it's higher than OSPF's 110, and that way OSPF takes precedence over the static route. So let's go ahead and do that. So conft router OSPF 1, and then so we're going to do network 1.1.1.0, and I think it's wildcard mask. It's been a little while. And then area, so we'll just put area 0. So that looks good. And then neighbor, the neighbor command, you just put your neighbor 1.1.1.2, and then I think this is subnet mask. I could be wrong. Yep, I'm wrong. Neighbor, I think this is, so it's going to be the other way around. And I didn't mean to do all 2/32. I think you want like this. But I think if you do all zeros, neighbor, what am I doing wrong here? Let's check. Neighbor, oh, you just put neighbor, that's it. That'll work. Oh, so let's see. We got some errors here. Cannot be configured. Neighbor can only be a non-broadcast multiple access. Okay. So I'm not too familiar with this, so that's something I'm gonna have to learn along the way. So it looks like you don't need the neighbor command. So we're gonna exit, write that up, jump to router 2. So I'm learning this as I go, and hopefully this isn't too messy for you guys and girls. Another thing I want to do is change the host name right here as well. R2. Excuse me. So we're going to go router OSPF 1. These numbers don't have to match, but it's just the OSPF process, I believe, and that doesn't have to match. So, but I'm going to use one anyway. We're going to do network 1.1.1.0, 0.0.0.255, area 0. So when I do this, as long as the interface is up, and I believe as long as it's up and the other side has that IP address and that subnet mask, it should bring it up. So we already know that's there. So let's see, adjacency is already loaded to full. In another video, we'll go through like all the OSPF, like the process of it going from to bring up the adjacency from like loading to full or whatever the process is. So now if I go exit and I go, I'm gonna have to add the link for the 2 as well, but I just want to show the IP route OSPF. Show IP route. Show. So there's no routes. There's no OSPF routes currently in the routing table because it's not the preferred route. But if I do show IP OSPF neighbor, I think we can see that the neighborship has formed. It's full. It's been up for 36 seconds, and this window it'll tell you the interface 00. So we're good there. I think the other command is show IP OSPF topology. No, let's not do that. I'm not really sure what I'm doing there on that one. But show IP OSPF neighbor will show you the adjacencies. IP OSPF adjacency maybe? No, I think I'm thinking of EIGRP. Anyway, we see the neighborships there, but it's not in the routing table because it's not the preferred route. So let's go add the second route. So router OSPF1 network 2.2.2.0.25. Remember wildcard mask 0.0.0. I'm not sure if I said wildcard mask before, but it's a wildcard mask. Area 0. So we're gonna make this one big area. Exit. Exit. Right. Now to router 3. Somewhere. I think. Oh, it's in the background. And I'm gonna change the host name here. So conf host name R3. Let's drop this R2 down. Okay, so we're in router 3. We go router OSPF1 IP network 2.2.2.0 0.0.0.255 area 0. And it should go straight to adjacency should come up. Hasn't come up yet. So let's see here. Show IP OSPF neighbor. So it's there. It just didn't pop up. Oh, it's still two-way, Druther. The reason for that is because there it goes. I was about to say something that wasn't accurate, probably. Fool. It's a BDR. I can't remember what it's gonna elect, and we'll go over this in another video about how OSPF works. One of these is going to be the designated router, and then the other one's going to be backup designated router, and then the other one's going to be Druther. So I think that's per area. So I'd have to do a little bit more research on that to confirm. But it's good to know our adjacencies are up. But if we do show IP route, it's still going to have the static route in there. It shouldn't have the OSPF routes because of the administrative distance. So you don't see any O's OSPF, right? So to get that, what we're going to have to do is we're going to come in here and I'm going to say IP route 1.1.1.0, and then subnet mask. And then if you question mark, it's going to tell you that it's supposed to be the. Oh, you have to. I think. Yes. So, sorry. Next hop, which is 2.2.2.2, and then this is the administrative distance here. So, administrative distance metric for this route. So currently it's 1, and we know that OSPF is 110. So I'm going to put it at 111. So show IP route. Do show IP route. So now you can see that it has 1.1.1. That subnet, right, is OSPF now because it's 110, right? So the static route is no longer there, but if we do show IP route static, sorry, I'm still in configuration mode, do show IP route static, it's not going to show either because it's not in the routing table. But if we do show run pipe include IP route, we'll see that the static route is in there and the administrative distance as well. It's just not preferring it. Okay. And then we would do the same thing on router 1. So router 1 currently has show IP route. It's going to have that static route. So if we want to fix that, we do IP route, and then we're going to go 2.2.2.3, 255.255.255.0, and sorry, this has to be the actual subnet, so .0. And next hop, going that way is 1.1.1.2, and then the count we're going to go 111. It's got to be in configure terminal mode. So let's, sorry this takes so long. So conft, and it's not going to have it in my commands because I'm in a different mode now. But I can just copy this down real quick. 2.2.2.0, 255.255.255.0, 1.1.1.2, 111. Boom. Alright, so if we go back and we go show IP route, it should be an OSPF route. So now the 2.2.2.0 network is OSPF. The static route is no longer there. In the routing table, if we do show run pipe include IP route, we'll see it is in our running config and that the administrative distance is 111. It's just not preferred, and that's why it's not in our routing table. So to summarize this video, I only used OSPF and static routes, right? And we also have connected, but just to show the proof of concept that you can manipulate static routes to not be preferred if you wanted them to be a secondary route. Now, if we were to take OSPF down, it will revert to the static route. And so I'll show that real quick. So like on router 3, if I do router OSPF 1, let's say no network 1.1.1. Sorry, no network 2.2.2.0. So I'm taking away this OSPF here. I could have done it a different way, but this is one way to do it. Area 0. Area 0. So let's take that off. So you see the OSPF goes down, right? Saying interface full to down, neighbor interface down or detached, because we're no longer advertising, we're no longer seeking it. We killed the OSPF. So we do show IP route. That the 1.1.1 is now back to static, So just proof of concept that you can manipulate static routes to be a secondary route, um, as like a failover mechanism sort of thing. And then just going back the other way, we'll turn OSPF back on just to prove again. So we'll write our OSPF 1, and then we'll just put the network command back on, get rid of the no, and then we'll show that the OSPF comes back up. It's the preferred route over the static route because of the manual entry of the administrative distance. So it's back to full, good, and when you do show IP route, we're back to static. Actually, hold on one second. This should go back to OSPF. There it is. So it does take a little bit of time to load, and you can change. I can't remember the default time. It would be like 10 seconds, something like that. But you can set that to converge faster, to select that route faster. There's a command for that. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to do some research. We'll cover that when we go to OSPF video down the road when we hit that objective. But all in all, so we've knocked out troubleshoot administrative distance, all routing protocols. We didn't cover all routing protocols, but it's the same concept, right? So if you have EIGRP with a route metric, you can manually change the administrative distances of other metrics, not just static routes. If you prefer that, it's just you have to do it manually. Like things like EIGRP uses different metrics to calculate that amount, but it's all adjustable depending on the situation, what you're trying to do. Anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Any feedback's recommended. Again, I'm learning this as I go. Down the road, I'll probably do some actual recording of my person, my face, so you can see, so you're not just staring at a screen the whole time. Try to be a little more personable, but this is what we're looking at here. This is administrative distance and different metrics. You want to know these metrics just so you can manipulate if you have to get preferred routes. Thanks for watching my video. Again, if you like it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Alright, have a good one. Until next time. Hopefully tomorrow. See ya.